I, whew, y'all, I've been on a journey. And haven't we all? Like, listen to me talking about I've been on a journey. Like, life has just been so tough. But um, here we are at 34. Family, household, debt, cars paid off, um, accomplishments, failures, all of those things combined to make what the experience of life is. Um, Throughout the years, and particularly the last five that I've been married, especially to a very disciplined, focused, driven Jamaican man, I have constantly had to reinvent myself and constantly strive to become the next version of me because uh, motherhood and marriage and adulting has required me to become um, present and show up in ways that the couch potato in me, the overthinker in me, oftentimes will just take a nap on. And I don't have that privilege. And I don't know if it really was a privilege. I think that it probably was detrimental. And so I'm so grateful for the responsibility. But I must say that when I first ontook the responsibility that I'm speaking about, that I I didn't want it. I wanted to give it back. I wanted to return the sender. I wanted to take it back to Walmart, send it back to Amazon. But when you change your mindset from saying I have to, which is, we know this, we've heard it a lot, not I have to, but I get to. I was on Instagram briefly because y'all know I'm on a social media detox, but I was on there briefly, and there's a makeup artist who moved from Georgia. I forget what her name is, but I love her. She's just so real. She's the one who goes, she has her computer out and she says, on today, the word today. She said, get into your word. Y'all might know who I'm talking about. She's a really beautiful spirit, but she was, you know how they put the POV? It was like POV, you get to be black. And I love that because she was at like some type of like family reunion, like block party. So I get to be a person that people depend on. I get to be an adult that has responsibilities. I get to show up and strengthen my discipline and my consistency. I get to versus I have to. It's a great privilege to have my health, to be able to walk, to be able to talk. I could go on and on and on. But so um, when they talk about an attitude of gratitude, gratitude goes a long way. And what I know about the mind is that you can't think about two things at one time. So if you're stressed out and you are overthinking and you just kind of are in this anxious space and you're worrying and you just can't get out of that rut, think about something else. I know it's just like, girl, what? No, for real, for real. So for instance, my good friend, he's been going through things here and there, but he got a chance he got to drive to Raleigh a week ago. And I just wanted to encourage him on that ride to focus on the ride, focus on the road, the trees, like literally take in the blue, take in the sky, take in the clouds, take in down to like elementary school level. If you can't stop thinking about what you're thinking about. If you can't stop thinking about, I got to do this, I'm responsible for this is on my back. On your ride to Raleigh, look at the trees and say, hey, we have 3-year-old twins. So, hey, like elementary school style, that's a tree. Look at the tree. The tree is green. Like if you thinking about the tree, as elementary as it sounds, the tree is tall. The tree is, I know it sounds like, girl, what rudimentary type? But if you're thinking about the tree and the sky and the road, you cannot think about what you're worrying about. And your body is in such a state of anxiety with the hormones. It just needs a break. Forgive me, y'all. This truck is loud. Your body just needs a break for a moment. to at least try to produce some type of other hormone, to just have it's in survival mode, to just take a moment to reset. And the mind is so powerful. So this month in particular, I'm walking my walk, I'm talking my talk, versus trying to share so much of my life to encourage other people. I'm encouraging myself. I'm pouring into myself, because where I want to go in life and the things that I want and the visions and the ambitions that I have, they're not going to happen with me making content. I love making content. I love sharing. I love the transparency. I love the healing. I love the community about it. But I got work to do, okay? And I have bad habits. So, one moment, y'all. Here, this truck is following me at this point. So this morning, what this morning looked like, I usually go to work at 10, but today it's 10:30, of course. Today I'm walking because I don't have to start work until 12. And so instead of laying in the bed or going and acting like I ain't got no husband and no kids, which is my go-to mode, instead of doing that, I decided to say, hey, let me get my second workout in for the week. Let me get a little walk in. Let me take in the sun. Let me create new habits in my life, because this is not a habit of mine. This is a first. We've been living in this house for 3 years now, and I have never at 10 a.m. on a Friday, I maybe have taken the boys on a walk, but I've definitely never worked out, got up, made my protein shake, did back, deadlifts. I've never done this. So creating new habits, making new circuitry in my mind, becoming a new person, letting go of the things that don't serve me, social media scrolling, drinking liquor, alcohol, wine, depending on things like CBD and wine to get over my stress, breathing more in those moments where I do feel stressed, and choosing to not just succumb to the things that I feel like I deserve or I want. Oh, I want to go out to eat, or I want this bottle of wine, or I want to sit on my phone and scroll and decompress that way. Those aren't healthy for me. And while I'm doing those things, stuff is piling up on the back end. So I'm really just trying to keep moving, keep doing, staying active, even if that's cleaning the house. Even if I have 50 million things to do, I used to nap. Instead of napping, I will clean the house, because when I wake up and I move around and I see that the house is orderly or neat, then I have no reason to be like, my environment is junky or cluttered, so my mind is junky and cluttered. The house is clean, so what next? Okay, I ain't got to worry about that. So what next, right? So these have been little small things. I started off with cleaning maybe months ago, and it has resulted in now me working out and me being dedicated to my mental health and my physical health. At 34, even though I'm pretty skinny, I'm 5'8", and I weigh 130 pounds. Before I started working out 3 weeks ago, I was maybe like 127. So let's say it's booty. Not that it's really important. I really am working out for discipline and consistency more than how my body changes. I'm looking forward to the body changes. I'm looking forward to looking great in clothes. But at 34, I wasn't feeling good. I really wasn't feeling good. Wasn't stretching. My body was feeling kind of like ancient and elderly. I would go move, something would pop. I would go and, sit one way for 20 minutes and get up and be rickety. Girl, you 34, what? So, and then lastly, I was producing a lot of, and might be TMI for people, but I was producing a lot of mucus, a lot of snot, I was having like what seemed to be like a sinus infection or a nasal infection. And it was between allergies and living in North Carolina, being out in the country. I was like, no, I never really experienced that in my life. And when I would get over it, it would come back. I had a cough for like a month. And I'm not, ever since having kids, I've been sicker than I've ever been. So if y'all like y'all health, don't have no kids because you will get their cooties all the time. But this wasn't even on them because it was summer break. So I didn't like that. I felt like maybe I was consuming too much dairy. Maybe I was consuming too much sugar. Maybe I was consuming too much liquor. I felt like not only did I need to change my diet, I just felt like I needed to like purify my body. And mind you, I didn't do no crazy healthiness. Like I didn't change my whole, like what I eat. I didn't go like veggie crazy because I don't really like vegetables like that. Like I'm big on texture. So just drinking more water, watching my liquor intake, trying to be mindful of my sugar, all those things and just habits really have put me in a space to receive and to have ease and to get my productivity together. In addition to the mucus and not feeling well with the rickety body and the stiffness and stuff, my mind was also very, very lagging. I was having conversations with my clients in the salon and I'd be trying to like complete my sentences and I felt like my brain was literally glitching. I was like, oh girl, your attention span, your focus is trash. And so what it's looking like now is, girl, you look like you got dementia or something. You need to get that together. And I was like, if I'm at 34 and my brain is starting to not serve me well, then I need to read more. I need to get clear. I need to slow my mind down. With ADHD, overthinking and the constant thoughts, the racing thoughts is completely normal. So meditation was the thing that I started doing in my early 20s that really helped me. But that stillness is priceless. And social media is the opposite of that. And so my screen time, just to be truly transparent, granted, I do watch a lot of YouTube and let YouTube run in the background, but my screen time can be upwards of 10, 12, 14 hours in a day. I'm sorry, reading a message. Yo, how's the morning? Look pretty cool to me. Keep it up. Thank you. I'm dead. LOL. I don't know what I said. You got to remind me what I said. Talking about I'm dead. LOL. That's real crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm really just sharing open thoughts. I hope that y'all can relate. I hope that y'all can chime in. I hope that this doesn't sound too boring. I'm not really worried about that, but I know that some people are on YouTube for entertainment, but I'm really just sharing you all my journey about how I'm overcoming my social media addiction, helping my ADHD, and becoming my next self. I really do appreciate you for sharing. Thank you so much. Like, please subscribe because these are conversations that I want to have. They help me so much, and I know that by sharing transparently, like, it helps other people because we do feel alone, especially as moms. Like, it's tough. And some people don't want to complain, but baby, I'm gonna complain the whole way through. But with gratitude, baby, stuff sucks. Life be sucking, but I'm blessed. We're blessed. Being able to live in the country that we live in, call it what you want, is a blessing. Being able to have iPhones and all of that, they're first world blessings. And so we take those things for granted because everybody has them. It's so normal. So just take a moment to be still, read a book, go back to the basics, go back to like the 90s, go back to when your phone was connected to the wall, okay? Put your phone down. I know my phone is in my hand, but I'm really just showing up and connecting more, and it feels amazing. Like, I really do feel, and it sounds so like woo 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 and like fairy tale, but I feel alive. I feel like the things that I want from my life, I'm becoming that person that I need to, and I'm not just faking it until I make it. I was never faking it until I was making it, but I wasn't putting in the work. I really wasn't putting in the work. The work would be very sporadic. The work would be very like here and there. It wasn't consistent. And unfortunately, and fortunately, what I'm realizing is that the sooner that I get consistent, the sooner I get discipline, those things could be in my, those things could happen for us, me and my family. My husband, they can happen for us now. I was the weakest link in my household. Like, straight up, the weakest link. 2-year-old twins and I'm the weakest link. What? You know, like the twins is doing them. They just being them they selves. And me, I'm just in like this little space where I'm moody one day, I'm happy the next day. I couldn't maintain. And that mental health, that moodiness, you feel like it's happening to you. I don't want to be ugly. I don't want to be bitchy. I don't want to be cranky. I don't want that. And being more in tune with my emotions and being more in tune with my day and having good hormones pumping in my system from working out, even though I hate working out. And I don't hate it. It's just not a habit of mine. And picking up a new habit, especially one like working out, is hard to do. So I'm just so thankful, and I appreciate you all for listening. Hi, how are you? I'm well. I'm really well. I'm great. I'm like phenomenal, like better than I could ever be on this walk, I swear. That's me, sis. Girl, speak on it. Tell me what you're dealing with, because for real, like when I tell other women, for instance, my aunt, and this is just full transparency, my aunt used to be like, yeah, Jamila, my full name is Jamila. Most of my friends call me Mila, but she's like, Jamila, she used to be PMSing before she was on her cycle. What? How do you introduce somebody like that? Okay, so let's go back. Let's like really dissect that. If I didn't get my cycle, or if I didn't become a woman until I was like in 7th grade, and at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, y'all saw that I was dealing with moods or attitude, or however we want to write it off for Black women. If I was dealing with those things then as a child, don't you think that maybe there could be some underlying cause to why this upbeat and bubbly kid is so back and forth? Whether you think it's being bipolar or anxiety or depression or something else, like there was nothing put to it. There was no therapy then. I didn't start going to therapy until after I had the kids. And I personally did a lot of self-work myself. I know people talk bad about Iyanla, or they have their views on Iyanla, but Iyanla opened up the conversation for mental health for Black women, for the Black community. And in that exposure to mental health conversations, I did my own work. I started meditating in my early 20s. And so, but there still was so many things I had blind spots on until I got married. So living by yourself, you get in like in this vacuum where you really think that you big stuff. You doing it, especially when you're a successful woman, especially when you're educated, especially when you have all of these accolades and these achievements around you that make you feel good about yourself. They don't really expose your weaknesses, and what you think are weaknesses really aren't your true weaknesses, or they're not fully laid out. And so when I started living with my husband, I will always say that marriage is the biggest mirror I've ever stood in front of. When I got married, it was like, this is who you really are, Jamila. You are a cranky, imbalanced woman who isn't aware that she's a cranky, imbalanced woman. You think that you're just maybe possibly controlling or high strung. These are words I would use now, but with my husband being Jamaican, they don't have a lot of fancy words. And not that they don't have an amazing language, but they call a thing a thing. If you are overweight, they're not saying you're overweight or you're obese. They're not prancing around it. The word for overweight in Jamaica is fat, okay? The word for unproductivity or being a couch potato is lazy. The thing is the thing. So when my husband got here and he saw that I was cranky, because he met me on vacation, okay? He met me when I was living my best life, okay? He met me on a resort. He met me when I was getting away from the stresses of America and letting loose. So he met me at a very high vibration and a high frequency and a very relaxed state. So when he brought me back to the States and I had to go back into boss mode, work mode, into the stresses, to not seeing any beaches, into not having a cool breeze, like when he brought me back into that, he was like, girl, you miserable. And I was like, miserable? I'm not miserable. Am I miserable? I would have never used that word, because the first thing when I hear miserable, I think of the saying, misery loves company. What the fuck? I don't know what you're talking about. So, Misery loves company. And when I think about that, unfortunately, I think about my grandmother, because that is the only miserable person that like comes to the forefront of my mind. I think that my grandmother is miserable, that she's lonely, that she's older, and that maybe some of the choices that she made earlier in her life have amounted to where she's at now in her 70s. And so my life flashed before my eyes when my husband told me that that was the word that he used to describe me. And I was like, ain't nobody ever called me miserable. And it made me sit down. And even, 5 years later, I feel like, oh, child, you acting miserable. You better get that together. So I'm going to wrap this up because I'm on my way back to the house. But if you're watching this and this resonated with you, please subscribe. A lot of this is going to be like a daily journal, a video journal. You might be like, girl, don't nobody care, but it's going to help someone, and that's what this is for. This is for those people, those women who feel like they're in it alone, or they can't put words to how they're feeling, or they don't know how to get out of the hole they're in. Go on a walk. Yeah. Put them kids in a stroller and go on a walk. Tune them out. Okay? I believe in earplugs. Okay, that's why these headphones ain't on. These headphones are noise canceling. They're similar to Bose. That's a very common brand that people know. So even when there's nothing playing, they muffle. Now they do also have those little things called loops that you can put in your ears that also do the same thing. And I'm thinking about getting those, but I don't feel like I've earned them. I don't feel like I'm working on my relationship with money, so I feel like I should earn things now. And when I say earn, like, oh, I've saved enough, or I've done this, this, and that. This is an achievement. Let me buy this, versus saying I'm just going to buy it because I want it. So for those women, like I was saying, go on a walk, move your body. I know you don't want to clean. I know you feel like your house might have 1,000 things that need to be cleaned up. Start with one task, like the dishes, or just cleaning out the shower alone. Because, baby, cleaning the shower is one of the worst things to do in the bathroom. Or just clean your sink off and clean your mirror off, so that when you go where you wake up in the morning time and the first thing you see in your bathroom is your sink, where you brush your teeth and you look into the mirror, make sure that that's clean and that you can get a good view of yourself, and that you can start your brain for the day in a certain space, and so that you can maneuver about the rest of your day in a certain way. So I just wanted to share that, some of the things that I'm utilizing to become my next self. Have a great day. Thank you so much. I hope you come back. Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to share and to relate and connect. Just feel like we're very distant people. So getting back to real conversations for real transformation. I'm trying to get a little logo together, a little tagline. Maybe that'll stick, maybe not. Y'all let me know. I hope y'all have a great day. Until next time. Bye-bye.